Hey dear students, welcome back to e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce, Vadda. I am Assistant Professor Rajeshwari Sharma and this lecture is for the subject Advanced Statistics for BCom 6th semester. Today in this subject we are going to start with our last unit, that is time series analysis. Before this we have completed our 3 units which includes correlation analysis, regression analysis and index number. Today we are going to deal with our 4th unit, that is time series analysis, and it's basically related with with all items which are included under the time series analysis, like the components of time series analysis and the different methods which is used to calculate the trend analysis, etc. Okay, so first of all we are going to begin with the basic foundation of this item, that is time series analysis. So first of all we are going to deal with certain basic concepts under this chapter. After that we are going to deal with the methods of calculating trend analysis and thereby we are going to understand those methods along with the numerical examples. So let's begin for today. Here we have first of all what is basically the meaning of time series. Okay, so when we talk about the time series analysis, so time series analysis is one of the statistical tool. Okay, it is one of the statistical tool which is used to determine the patterns in data collected at different point of times. See, there are data related to various elements, like you might be having data related to sales, you might be having data related to demand, data may be related to agricultural production. Okay, agricultural production, data may be related to production of particular industry. So there are many elements. Data may be related to national income or so many things. There may be data related to various elements which are collected during various point of times, like data of sales for 2018, data of sales for 2019, data of sales for 2020, data of sales for 2021. So when we are talking about this data of sales, so here I have given the different time periods. Okay, so here we have different point of times, we have different time periods for which this data is collected, for which the data of sales is collected. Okay, so when we analyze the data set, okay, data set of sales, here in this example, when we are going to analyze the data set of the cell during the different point of time, so it would be called as time series or trend analysis for the cells. Okay, so basically in time series analysis what we do, we generally observe a trend in the particular data set for particular element. Okay, here we are going to observe a trend. What kind of trend the data is showing, where the cells are going upward or it's going downward year by year, or it is flexible each and every year. Sometimes it's going down, sometimes it's going up. So we are going to analyze what kind of trend this data is showing. So when we go for such analysis of particular items, so that it is known as time series analysis. I hope you guys are clear with the meaning of time series analysis. Now the next thing that you have over here is the definition of the time series analysis. First definition has been given by Foxtrot and Cowden. Let's see what do they say about the time series analysis. So they say a time series consists of a data arranged chronologically. What they are saying? They are saying time series consists of a data which are arranged chronologically. Like if I am going to understand this definition with the help of this example, so here cells, okay, cells is an element relating to which we are collecting data, and this data has been arranged chronologically, like cells for 2018, cells for 2019, cells for 2020 and cells for 2021. So this way this data has been arranged chronologically. Data regarding the cells has been arranged chronologically, okay, for deriving the conclusion, for finding out the trend. So this data set will be called as time series. Okay, after that another definition has been given by Modest Hamburg. Let's see what Modest Hamburg says about the time series analysis. So saying that all time series are set of observations arranged chronologically. He is again saying the same thing. All time series are the set of observations which are arranged chronologically. Like here cells is a set of observation for which the data has been arranged chronologically, that is year wise. So when we have such data regarding any component, any item, so it's known as time series. Okay, and by use of the tool of time series analysis, we can find out the train that's been shown, that's been reflected by the particular data. We can derive the conclusion out of that data. Okay, so I hope you guys are clear with the definitions and the meaning of time series analysis. Now we are going to move towards our next point, another time series analysis chapter, that is components of time series. So what are the components of time series? So when we talk about the components of time series, so we have four components under it. First one is secular train, second one is cyclical train, third one is seasonal train, and fourth one is irregular train. So what is basically the secular train? Okay, we are going to deal with the meaning of all the trains in detail. So what is basically the secular train? See, there are particular items. There are some set of items which increases, decreases, or remains stagnant for the long period of time. Okay, so when we have such data regarding those items, so it comes under the secular train. Like when we talk about the secular train, so it's again categorized into two types, that is upward train and downward train. Okay, so when we talk about the upward train, so when the data goes on increasing year by year, when data goes on increasing at different point of time, so it is known as upward train. Okay, and when we talk about the downward train, so when the data for the particular item goes on declining as we move further, as we progress further, so such data, for such data we say that the data is showing the downward train. Okay, so what could be the items for which we can see the upward trend? So basically for the production of particular industry we see upward trend. For the population of certain country, okay, especially the developing countries, we see the upward trend. Then for the sales prices or the demand for particular commodity in the particular industry, we see the upward trend. Okay, so when the data is showing upward trend, means what? The data is showing increasing trend. They are increasing at different point of time. So we say that the data is showing increasing trend, and this increasing trend comes under the purview of the secular trend. After that, we have also seen that there is downward trend in the secular trend. Okay, so what is basically the downward trend? We have discussed rightly. When data or the element goes on declining, they show decrease year by year, so we call it downward trend. When we talk about the death rates in the developing economy, so they generally show the downward trend. Okay, when we talk about the epidemics, rate of epidemics, so they also show the downward trend, because the government takes various measures in order to reduce those rates of epidemics. Okay, when we talk about the mortality rate, so they also show the downward trend. So there are certain items which shows the downward trend, and it can be analyzed with the help of this secular trend. Okay, after that, another component that we have over here is cyclical trend. So what is basically the cyclical trend? You must have heard about the business cycle. Okay, being the student of economics, you must have heard about the business cycle. What is business cycle? Business cycle is a cycle which shows fluctuation in the level of economic activity in particular economy. Okay, so when we talk about the business cycle, so there are various phases of business cycle, like expansion, okay, expansion, peak, depression, recession, depression, recovery, shock, okay, then again expansion. So this way we have different phases of business cycle. Okay, so such items which are having different phases, they are represented by the cyclical trend. Okay, they are represented by the cyclical trend. Why cyclical? Because one after another comes. Okay, like after expansion you will surely have a peak. After peak you will surely have a recession. After recession, government is going to take certain measure to reduce that recession, and after that, for sure, there is going to be the recovery. Okay, and after recovery, again the expansion will come. So that is why these phases are going to repeat themselves. They are going to be there like a cycle. Okay, the behavior is going to be like a cycle. That is why such elements are studied with the help of the cyclical trend. After that we have seasonal train. Okay, so what is basically the seasonal train? When we talk about the seasonal train, so there are certain elements, okay, there are certain items periodically in every year, periodically in every season, and this changes may be due to the natural conditions. Okay, this changes may be due to the natural conditions. Like when we talk about the seasonal trends, so rainy season comes every year, right? Rainy seasons comes every year, and when the rainy seasons come, so the demand for the raincoats and umbrella increases. Okay, so such type of analysis, such type of study comes under the seasonal trend. When we talk about the festive seasons, take the example of Diwali. When the Diwali comes, so demand for sweets, demand for the clothes, demand for the crackers increases. Okay, so when such items are needed to be studied, demand for such items, such elements are needed to be studied. So it comes into the seasonal trend. After that, we have irregular trend. Okay, so when we talk about the irregular trend, so there are some items, some items for which there is no particular pattern of behavior. Okay, there are no particular pattern of behavior, there are no fixed time period. So when we try to understand the impacts of such factors, when we try to understand or study the impacts of such factors on the different elements or other factors, so such type of studies comes under the irregular trends. Like when you talk about the tsunami, you are going to talk about the drought, you are going to talk about the natural calamities. So one cannot predict when it will happen. Okay, so impact of such things is studied by using the irregular trend. Okay, and such items also starts a new cycle. They also have impact on the other things, other industry and other sectors. Okay, so like natural calamities are having impact on many sectors. Like nowadays we are suffering by this COVID-19 crisis. Okay, so they are having their impact on the different sectors of economy, like industry and the industry, investment, employment, right? So such trends cannot be predicted. For how long it will occur, it cannot be predicted. What's going to be their exact impact, they cannot be predicted in advance. So when such things are studied, so it comes under the purview of the irregular trend. After that, here we are done with the components of time series. Now we are going to see why do we study this time series, what's the importance of time series analysis. So first point over here is to understand behavior. Okay, behavior of what? Behavior of certain elements. Okay, in time series analysis, what we do? We do collect the past data. Okay, and after collecting the past data, we analyze it, and after analyzing the past data, we see what's going to be the current trend, and with the help of that data, we derive the conclusion for future. So this way, when we talk about the time series analysis, so it is an analysis which helps us to understand the past behavior and the future behavior. Like if we want to determine the sales of ABC Company Limited product, okay, so we have to determine the sale for year 2021. Okay, so here what we are going to do, we are having data of 2018, data of 2019, and data of 2020. So we are going to analyze the data for this past years, and after analyzing the data for this past year, we are going to see what kind of trend it is showing. Okay, and after that we will derive a conclusion regarding what's going to be the probable sale in year 2020. So this way we can understand the with the help of the past behavior, we can predict the future behavior regarding certain elements. After that we have planning and forecasting. Of course, when we can understand the past behavior, we have the past data, we can analyze the past data with the help of time series analysis. So we can derive some conclusion out of it, and on the basis of that conclusion we can forecast for the future. Like you must be knowing month of February is very important. Okay, for so many people there are demand for different items like chocolates, teddy bears, and so many things, gift items. Demand for them are quite high in the month of February. Okay, so if we have to predict the sales of certain items for the month of February, so what we are going to do, we are going to see the past data for the month of February, and on the basis of that past data we are going to derive conclusion what's going to be the demand for all these items in future to come in coming February. Okay, so this way it helps us to plan and forecast. After that, to make comparison. Of course, when we have the data of the different time periods. Okay, we have analyzed the data at the different time periods, so it facilitates us to make comparison. Like we can compare between 2000 and 2018 and 2019. We can see what was the sales during the year 2018 and what are the sales during the year 2019, and we can make comparison between the sales of both the years, and if the sales are increasing, so we can find out what are the probable reasons for that and how it can be improved further. If they are declining, so we can find out what are the shortcomings on our side and how we can rectify that. Okay, so this way we can also make comparison and we can derive the solution for the problem if it exists there, if any. After that, the last thing that we have over here is to evaluate progress. Okay, with the help of time series analysis, we can see the past data. We have under time series, we have the data at different point of time. Okay, so when we have data of past, we have data for the current year, and we can predict the data for the future years to come. Okay, so with the help of all this time period, we can evaluate the progress. Means how much progress we are making, how much progress can be seen in a particular element, we can determine with the help of time series analysis. So these are the importance of time series analysis that we have discussed over here. Here we are done with the basic concepts which are covered under the time series analysis. In next lecture, we are going to start with the numericals of time series analysis. Till then, please keep going through the YouTube lectures for your better understanding. And in case of any doubts, please contact us. Thank you.